Support also of the Southern Christian Leadership Conference. All over America, the vast majority of Negroes in our country are still perishing on a lonely island of poverty in the midst of a vast ocean of material prosperity. And it is criminal to have people working a full-time job getting part-time income.
If the men do not return to work immediately, we will have no choice but to employ others to protect the public health.
This is Ray Sherman on the scene. Several thousand Negro demonstrators are participating in this largest civil rights demonstration ever in Memphis, Tennessee. This massive downtown march on Memphis is now underway. Several thousand Negroes are marching toward City Hall at this time. Many of the demonstrators are carrying the sign, "I am a man." They stretch out for several blocks. Later today, as the march moves up toward City Hall, Dr. Martin Luther King will speak to the striking workers and their sympathizers, now estimated somewhere between 5,000 and 8,000. Police are on hand with about 600 officers. Almost the entire force is standing by here in case any trouble might break out. Chaos has just broken out downtown. All right. Negro youths are smashing windows. I just saw... That sound you just heard was the sound of a tear gas fired by a police officer in an attempt to thwart this unruly demonstration. We repeat, several Negro youths started running down Main Street, smashing windows as they ran. Police are now moving down Beale Street. The tear gas is boiling up from the street, and the Negro youths are fleeing from the area. Police are scrambling down Beale Street now. There's been a call of help from other officers. Officers are in trouble. The Negro youths are shouting at this time, "Go, go, go." Police have formed a cordon, and they're not permitting the march to move any further at this point. They're moving in with riot guns and tear gas.
You obviously had a group of boys who were ready to do that, and they did it. They didn't come to the march. They didn't consult us. They're outside of our control, absolutely, always have been. And this time they got their chance to break loose, and they took it.
What happened with Dr. King?
Well, we surrounded him with some ministers and moved him out of the area.
At an undisclosed location.
I'm convinced that nonviolence is the way and that violence is not the answer.
Does that mean there will be no more violence in Memphis?
Well, I can't guarantee that there will be no more violence after we leave and go to Washington. I'm simply saying that we are going to have a nonviolent demonstration here.
Dr. King, what's your
plans? I will be leaving Memphis later today, going back to Atlanta, and my next step would be to come back to Memphis, and that we hope can take place in the next 2 or 3 days. We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. Nothing would be more tragic than to stop at this point in Memphis. I want to thank God once more for allowing me to be here with you. I left Atlanta this morning and then I got into Memphis. And some began to say the threats, or talk about the threats that were out. What would happen to me from some of our sick white brothers. Well, I don't know what will happen now. We've got some difficult days ahead. Worried about anything. I'm not fearing any man. Mine eyes have seen the glory.
We have information that King has been shot at the Lorraine. Back then, he has been shot. Okay.
Memphis police report they have just confirmed that Reverend Martin Luther King has been shot.
getting ready to go to dinner. He was going to my house for dinner, as a matter of fact.
And so the doctor ready to go. He said, yes, just to say, let's get ready to go right now.
You know, we heard what sounded just like a firecracker, a loud, real loud shot.
I said, Dr. King. That was it. And the bullet exploded in his face.
And he had fallen backwards. I heard somebody holler, "Oh, Lord."
The bullet knocked him up off of his feet in that direction against that ledger over there.
Did Dr. King say anything?
He didn't say anything. He didn't say anything at all.
It's a hectic scene tonight. The bullet struck Dr. King in the back of the neck. He was rushed to St. Joseph Hospital in critical condition.
Well, I just was told that he had been shot. The report I got was in the shoulder. It was serious. That was the report I got from Reverend Andrew Young.
The pathology and the sickness and the neurosis of Memphis and of this racist society in which we live is that really pulled the trigger. To some extent, Dr. King has been a buffer the last few years between the black community and the white community. The white people do not know it, but the white people's best friend is dead.